Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday. Let's rock it. BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Looking at Bitcoin trading explicitly, we are at 5.5 billion, down like almost 25% in the last 24 hours. So it's odd. We're going into the week with a downwards trajectory volume-wise. So we'll see what that means, but it's unusual. All right, looking at longs versus shorts, I'm definitely seeing a little bit of, some shorts and longs getting wrecked here, some big buys. Looks like the whales are trying to influence the market this morning. We'll see how it goes. Low volume would definitely be a sign as to why they would do that. It's their kind of prime territory to work it. Longs 49%, shorts 50% on Binance. That's not much of a split there. So kind of a 50-50 uncertainty there as far as whether they want to long or short. Looking at the top 20 exchanges, a mix of green and red as far as spot trading volume last 24 hours. This site never loads anymore. Kind of sucks, but live Bitcoin charts is awesome. Bitcoin coming in at $67,047 this morning. That ain't bad. Looking at the top 100 alts, we're beginning to see some nice green. One that I noticed that's kind of cool I haven't seen for a while is Theta up 7%. I like that. Solana up 5%. That project is kind of alive again. I dig seeing that. Looking at dollar strength index, it looks like it might be making a 200 moving average on the daily and a channel bounce. So we'll see. I think we might see it move up this week. We'll see how that goes. Looking at oil crude this week, well, so far we're challenging a 200 moving average cross. Maybe it's time for it to perk up. We'll have to see. But I do think we might see crude move up this week. It depends. Also looking at the issues we're seeing in the Middle East, it really could go either way. Very, very volatile. I'm into crude trading futures right now, just getting into it. I'll share with you guys what I'm finding because that's something that I'm definitely playing. Looking at gold, it's up, it's kicking ass. Silver making big headlines. It is up today. So we'll see how that rolls. Metals are going crazy. And why? Because of the fall of Western civilization. That's why they're pumping. And I'll make a case for that in just a second. Bitcoin in the 4-hour chart, we're seeing some upwards momentum. We're above the 200 and 314 squeeze indicator and the directional index and ADX all show we might be cooling off a little bit now. Looking at a 45-minute chart. Yeah, we're kind of cruising sideways. It looks like Bitcoin's just kind of holding its horses right now. It's trying to figure out what it wants to do. But the directional index, the squeeze indicator is just starting to turn positive. We were in a squeeze over a lot of the weekend. Bitcoin, it's trying to figure out what it wants to do, but it's on the positive side right now. So Bitcoin not looking bad. I think it's trying to figure out what it wants to do today, but so far it's looking, maybe we've seen some volume come in, maybe a trend towards the positive. It's really been hard to read recently, and it is this morning. But looking at some alts, FTM versus USDT on Binance, making a 236 bounce, bit of a weak spot to bounce, but still it's doing pretty darn well. So we're seeing alts with Bitcoin being sideways and holding sideways as we roll into this week. Definitely going to see some action. FTM versus USDT making a move this morning. Solana recently breaking its previous high there, making a move. Indicators looking pretty good. Solana very well may make a run today. This is a 4-hour chart here. So looking at a 45-minute chart, yep, it's pushing, cooling off a little bit, pushing, cooling off a little bit. Let's see what happens. It's very uncertain. It's early in the day, but Solana might be a player this week. Looking at ETC versus USD, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Forget that one. What I wanted to look at was Theta. So on the daily chart, we see Theta has been on a downtrend for quite a while. It's approaching that 200 moving average on the daily, but it said nope. And then it did a positive MACD cross on the daily. If we zero in on the 45-minute chart, we can see it basically was just hovering above the 314, the 200 moving average for quite a while. Did a little bit of a squeeze recently. Indicators are starting to turn up. It broke a previous high, which is kind of nice. And if we look at it, it's pushing. It's it's actually just right now challenging a previous I put that in the wrong spot. It's challenging a previous high. Then it'll have another one to challenge soon. But anyway, Theta kind of breaking out. I like what I'm seeing there. It's a cool project. Definitely has reasons to move. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Sorry about that. A 3-minute chart. Well, 3-minute chart's looking pretty damn good, actually. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart looking good. It's been a downwards movement for a while, but it made a nice bounce above the 200 moving average. It's between the 200 and 314, getting ready to challenge that 314. If it can break that 314 moving average on the 4-hour chart and find support there, I'm definitely going to be watching the indicators. I could see this being something that this could be a sustained uptrend. I'm just going to uptrend. I'm just going to watch it. As you can see, it has given a lot back recently, and you could almost do a fib sequence here and start to kind of predict where we think it's going to go, and also look and see where it's bouncing. Oh, look at that. 618 golden pocket bounce, challenging the .5 fib level, challenging the 314 there on the 4-hour chart. Definitely, I'm watching this one for moves this week. Peter Spina here talking about China is trading. This is the news part, so if you don't care, just drop off. But China is trading silver near 35.25 a troy ounce today. That's pretty wild. Metals are going insane. Copper roars, gold soars to record highs as metals hit history-making mode. They've gone pure Lambo, psycho, beast mode, and that is cool. Why? Because we'll get to this in a second. ICC prosecutor seeks arrest for this guy. And it doesn't matter that, of course, nothing's going to happen, but it does, if it sticks, if this continues to happen, UN countries, members, and a member, of course, who then will have to kind of respect the ICC. If we're a rules-based world order, then none of this matters. But if we are a law-based world order, then it's going to affect other countries and their trade with this country and things like that. And already the global, bias towards this is, y'all are a psycho country. So it's just this watch the market for this kind of news, because this matters. Doesn't matter what side you're on. It just means that we could definitely see world trade affected in quite a way, and also crude oil prices, and of course metal prices. I think it's why we're seeing metal prices up, because the world is nervous. Looking at Iran, this guy, president, I try to avoid saying the naughty words that YouTube doesn't like, but this president of this country, went plop in a chopper. No one knows what happened at this point. There's accusations, etc. But for the most part, what does this mean? They already have a continuity of government over there. It's more of a put together country than many people would like to admit. In the West, it's not worth demonizing as much as it is demonized. This guy, controversial figure. You might like him, you may not. I don't really know much about him. I just honestly don't. But it does give a chance for the West and maybe this guy here, if you're watching, to save face along with this country, and our country in the West, and because now you could kind of say, well, we have a new leadership. Yeah, we'll work with them, etc., etc. This is a great face-serving time where maybe we could de-escalate tensions for the betterment of all. Maybe some people are going to be winners and some people are going to be big losers in this. So we'll see what happens, but we are in geopolitical intrigue right now. And what I wanted to mention, and that's why I think, honestly, that's why we're seeing metals pumping right now, because investors are nervous, but not so terrified they're going to cash. They're going to metals. And I think that as we see, with the BRICS nations, and I could have shared a lot of news this morning about that, but we're going towards, a metals-backed, commodities-backed, global, currencies. The world's changing so fast, and America is just, intellectual dullards about all this. Most people are like, janking off to sports ball and stuff and have no idea what's happening geopolitically in the world. But times are changing. They've already changed. And how are you getting ready? Myself, Bitcoin, gold, silver are my big players, along with many other assets. But still, I will stick with this. If you go to YouTube, I'll put this in the live chat. You can just simply search for Fall of Empires. Fall of Civilizations. This guy is amazing. Almost interviewed him. He has a new book coming out on my other podcast, or on my podcast, Rating Creators. But he was like, he's cool when he wanted to come on, but he's like, you guys are kind of too new age for me, and I got to keep it boring, because my crew is a little dry, they're historians. So anyway, I'll put this in the live chat, but I still might get him on. I still really might see him. He might hop on. It does seem like this could be the event from David over there at Adapt 2030. This very well could be the event. This is, and there was an astrologer who, I'll send it to you over there, David. And maybe I'll put it in those comments later. There was an astrologer who actually nailed it a couple of days ago on the 18th. This exact event would happen. So I'll share that because it's quite epic if the astrologer nailed it, and I will share that. So anyway, this could be the event. The world's gone crazy. I myself am, We can thrive during the apocalypse. We certainly can. We have in the past. This is an amazing podcast here, The Fall of Civilizations. He does great video work for this. It's called The Bronze Age Collapses, Mediterranean Apocalypse. This is Fall of Civilizations. I've watched all of these a few times. This is one of the better ones. Right now, it is time for the Western Empire probably to, I think it's fading. I think the BRIC nations are rising, but I think you here in the West, most people listening to this are in the West, you can thrive during this time. And how are you doing it? Bitcoin, gold, silver, commodities, other commodities, property, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe it's not commercial property, but anyway, it's a crazy time. I'm going to get on every day this week. Sorry I missed yesterday. Interesting times. I'm going to do my best to, these are just things that I'm showing you, but I'm going to do my best to actually, let's try to get into some good setups this week. And I think we definitely could do, we could be profitable this week. It's still, we're still shaping up for the week, but I'll try to get some good swing trades in there that you guys can sit in for a couple days and make money. And besides that, thanks for being a Bitcoin truth seeker. Thank you for believing in the future of humanity. I think that Bitcoin, every Satoshi you own, is probably the most optimistic act you can possibly do towards the betterment of a better sci-fi, beautiful, futuristic existence for humans. I do believe that this is the peaceful revolution, and every single Bitcoin Satoshi is a part of that. So if you do your weekly dollar cost averaging this week, you believe in a future where, everyone's grandkids will just be out there playing in the yard while they're sitting on the porch. And that's going to be for everybody, not just the Western Empire. And that's what's changing right now with the rules-based order is now going to probably become the law-based order. And that's a good thing. So I think we might be facing a financial Western apocalypse, but at the end of it, you'll be rich. I'll be rich. And the people who had the sense to, join the winning team and be part of Team Humanity, where the whole globe is now the country that we live in, and it's peaceful and beautiful. So let's keep on working on that, and take care.